Hi, creative writing students. For today, we're going to be reading a short excerpt from Francine Prose's book called Reading Like a Writer. I highly recommend it. It goes through sort of the different elements of what makes a great fictional story and how to read great literature to understand it for its craft. So, the whole premise of her book is about what's called close reading, which you can see on the screen in front of you. And she opens with this question: can creative writing be taught? Well, I think yes, in some ways. You're in a creative writing class because you can learn the mechanics and basics of writing. But the best way to learn how to write is to read constantly, and not to just read for entertainment. That's really important, but it's to very closely read and examine literature, to understand why the author is making these craft or technical decisions that they make and how that affects you as a reader and what makes a story so compelling for various reasons. So, this excerpt is going to talk about how to read closely and why it's so important. And then I have one other excerpt from her chapter called Words that I would like you to read after you read the other selection. It's just one page here. And even though I won't have an independent reading requirement for this week, I'd like you to continue to read whatever book you're reading and to examine it for the author's decisions, um, as a writer, not just analyzing it for theme, but really thinking about like what makes this character so interesting, or why do I want to turn the page, or how does the character want something and how does that get them to act or react in a story. So, for example, right now I am reading a great novel called Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, and it's about a family in Japan, and they're a Korean family, and Japan has colonized Korea, and it's about their struggle to survive. But what's so great about her writing is that she is able to show these characters' desires and how those desires affect the way that their life turns out and how it affects how they treat other people. And she does a great thing where she just jumps a lot of time between chapters. So you're really only seeing the most important moments from these characters' lives. So it reads very quickly and the pace is great as well. So as you're reading, think about those authorial decisions that writers are making and examine just one or two paragraphs that are really solid and think about how that was created by the writer and how you can do that in your own work. And we will start to do that more next week as we read some short stories together and then work on writing exercises.